Hello and grüß Gott. Today we're going to put some Fat Bob's Garage 2.5 inch coil lifts on the rear of our 1997 Toyota 4Runner two-wheel drive vehicle. To do that, we got all sorts of tools here. I have actually 2 complete sets of coil spring compressors because Toyota springs are actually very, very strong. One set's probably not going to be enough. So probably have to put at least 3 compressors on each spring if I need to compress them. And I got jack stands and jacks and, well, you name it, torque wrenches, breaker bars, everything, wheel chocks. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some wheel chocks on the front wheel, and we're going to take the e-brake off, and then we're going to use the frame to raise the car up until this wheel is off the ground. We'll put a jack stand under that frame. We'll go to the other side, raise it up, put a jack stand under that side of the frame, and then we can start to work on the rear. So we'll do that. We'll be right back. All right, so what we've done at this point is we removed the wheel. We put 3 different devices here, safety devices, so that the truck cannot fall on us, plus an additional jack underneath the rear axle. We took the bolt out for the lower shock. The shock is right here. We took the bolt out, 17 millimeter. And we have slid the lower shock off the bushing. That allowed us to lower this down about another 1/4 of an inch. What we're going to do at this point is see if I can put my coil spring compressors on and actually compress this down and take it out. So we're going to try that as our first attempt, and if that doesn't work, we will come back and tell you what else we had to do. So I'll be right back. At this point, we have put on 2 of the coil spring compressors. And we haven't even started tightening them up yet. All we've done is tighten the U-bolts just good and snug. We lubricated the threads. So I'm going to take a 1-inch wrench and I'm going to start tightening these up and see if I can't get the coil spring out. And if it gets too tight or whatever, I'm going to put another safety in there, and I'll show you that in a minute what I'm talking about. It's going to be some a strap down piece that I can put in there so that if there's a lot of energy in this coil spring, so you got to be really, really careful not to get hurt. And also you should have safety glasses on. So I'm going to tighten it up and we'll see how it goes. I'll be right back. At this point, we have snugged these up real good, these spring compressors. The spring is actually loose right now. So I've taken the bolt out for the panhard bar here, but I do have the axle jacked up. So I'm going to see if I can bring this down some and enough to get this out. So we're going to try to do that. We'll be right back. Now we've taken apart the sway bar end link. You want to have the axle jacked up a little bit when you take this off, because there's going to be some downward pressure and you're going to have to lubricate this obviously to get this off. So you'll do that, and then we're going to see what's next. I'm going to mark the coil spring here in its relative position here. So when I put it back in, I'll know I have it rotated to approximately the correct position. And right now, we can take this out. So we'll do that, and we'll see what's next. Here's the coil spring, and this is going to go on here, this spacer. It's going to add 2.5 inches of height. So this cone piece will go in on the inside like that. So that's how it's going to go in. Now to get it in, I'm going to actually need to compress these springs down some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compress them, but I'm going to make sure that I'm very careful. I have my safety glasses on right here. And I'm going to make sure I always point everything in a safe direction. And I'm going to try to compress these down a bit more. And then I'm going to put a strap in here. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But first I got to compress them a little bit. And so I'll do that and I'll be right back. Here's what I'm using as my safety, towing type strap, very heavy duty, tied, so that if there's an uncontrolled release of this spring, hopefully the energy is going to be absorbed and nobody's going to get hurt. Got to be real careful. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to bring this in, about another inch or inch and a half, because we cannot quite get it in there, even with this all the way down, till we compress it some more. So that's what we're going to do. Be right back. Okay, we've got the coil spring back in here. It's loose, and right now it's hitting against here. So I'm going to have to start loosening these at the same time I'm going to have to push it in. So I'm going to do that. We'll see how that goes. I'll be right back. Okay, spring's in place now. We twisted it, made it settle. The marks are where I put them. So now I'm going to raise up the axle here and start reattaching stuff that I took off. And we'll be back in a minute when we got it all reattached. Lower shock bolt, 53 foot-pounds. So there you go. That's that torque setting. We don't have one for back here. We don't have one for here. So we're just going to snug these up with some Loctite. So we'll do that, put the wheel on, and we'll be right back. All right, so we've put the wheel back on. We've just hand tightened the lug nuts. You can definitely see it's the body's up higher now. It's lifted. And so I'm going to take my torque wrench and set it to 75 foot-pounds per lug nut, go in a star-shaped pattern. So we'll do that, and then this side will be done. We'll move to the other side. So basically, the other side will be very similar. So that's all for the rear. Good luck. Tschüss. Thanks for watching.